Is it gonna work? Okay. I'm giving it a second, you guys. It's 4:03. I've been trying to get on live and something's going on with my camera. Something's going on with my phone. Hello, hello. I don't have anybody yet. Okay. I'm just going to assume that it's going to work, and I'm going to keep on working. Oh, good. Oh, my camera keeps... I'm sorry. It keeps cutting in and out. I'm giving it a second. I'm going to start my cleaning my stuff while I'm sitting here looking at you guys. I'm working on my shoes. I was working on my shoes. How cute did those turn out? Aren't those so cute? Loving them. Those are from last week. I haven't taken a picture of them yet because I wasn't done. And I've been sitting here messing with them. I'm getting the other one started because I've been busy. Okay, we got 3 on. All right. So everybody can hear and see me. I don't know what is going on with my Facebook, but it keeps trying to kick me out. Doesn't like me anymore. Okay, welcome. I'm Tracy with the Rhapsody Art Barn here on, what time is it? 4 o'clock on a Thursday. I think I would know that by now. And today we're doing easy art. Easy peasy. Everybody can do this. And what I've done is, I'm cleaning right now. I'm looking for my vinegar water. What I've done is purchased a pre-done piece of art, and it's not my cup of tea. So I have to find where the frame is because I have been working trying to get this on, and then people came in. So it's just a glass frame, a glass inside a frame, a piece of artwork, and it came looking kind of like this. And then I painted it. It actually had it on both sides, like they screwed up and put the X's on it. I don't know. And then it had it on this side as well. And so this is what's inside the frame underneath the glass, okay? And then we're gonna put on the new, have you guys seen the new transfers? I got them in yesterday and I love them, and I'll show them to you. The IOD Transfers, and it's the new Elysium. And we're gonna use half of it on top of the glass, and then we're gonna put the script, which is the Roycycled script paper, underneath the glass on top of the backboard, whatever it's called, where the picture was, right? So we're gonna, let me show you the script. We're not gonna use all of it because these papers are gigantic. So it's not cool script paper. So that's gonna go underneath the Elysium. So we're just gonna have fun. And in the meantime, I'm cleaning my, my glass because, like I just told you, somebody came in and I got sidetracked, and then my daughter just left and I have no idea where the rest of my frame is. So hopefully I can find it without leaving you guys for too long. I don't know, we'll see. Hi Kathy, hi Mickey. Thanks for joining me today, Thursday. We've had hot weather, and then all of a sudden today it feels cool outside. It's not cold, but you know, compared to how it has been, it feels cool outside. So I got all dressed in my my flowy, easy, lightweight dress because I like it when it's hot outside. And I've been kind of chilly today, I must say. So I don't know how it is in your neck of the woods, wherever you are, but I got a little chilly. So I'm gonna, I'm cleaning off my very dirty glass with just some vinegar. And then hopefully I will find my my edge, my frame. I don't know where it went. So I'm gonna put you down. And I know that you probably can't see until I put my board up here. Let me get this just cleaned off and not wet anymore, and then I will put my board up here so you can see what I'm doing underneath. Okay, so IOD just came out with all their new spring, summer line. I guess that's what it is. It's the second quarter. So I am going to be using the new transfers. The transfers came out late, so we've been looking at the molds and the inlays and the stamps for a couple weeks now, and then just yesterday people started getting the new transfers. So I'll show you what they are, because that's fun too to see. And then I'm going to be doing a live on the small one on a tin on my page later, but I'll show you what it is. But this isn't what we're using today. So this is the seed catalog. So it's a lot like the ephemeral melange that we had out, that we still have out, that we still carry, but with some different pictures. And somebody was asking me if there was peaches in here. Now I want to look. There's strawberries and peas and roses. And this is the maize. There's a big one of those. I'll show you. That's a new transfer too. But I don't see peaches. Let me look again. Dahlias. I love dahlias, you guys. They're so beautiful. Breathe. I know, right? Breathe. Thanks, Kathy. I need to breathe. Okay, what are those? Oh, they're plums. I bet that's what she was thinking. Those were peaches, but they're plums. I guess you could paint them in and make them look kind of fuzzy like peaches, but it does say plum. Oh, and those are peaches. Aren't those peaches? Yeah, there's a peach down here. So if you're watching, Judith, there's peaches. Okay, so there's the new transfer called Seed Catalog. They're a smaller one. And then this is the one we're going to do today. There's 4, and I'm going to use 1/2 of them. I think I chose this half, pretty sure. Okay, and we're going to use the other 2 sheets. I already pulled them out, but I'll show you. They're very vibrant, and they do have some ephemera, some words on them, so that'll be fun. Then we've got, it looks better on the back, The Botanist. Look at how gorgeous that is. That was a collab with, I don't know, Lynn from J Goods, I think, and somebody I didn't know created these. I wonder if it says, I don't know, but this gorgeous, gorgeous. So I have a bed frame that I want to make into a bench that I think I'm gonna see if it'll fit on that. And then last but not least, we've got our maize roses. That's the small picture in the seed catalog, blown up into a 4. They're all 4 pages this time. None of them are the big 8 pages. They're all, and this one will create an image, one single image. But you know me, I'll cut around all these and use them for all sorts of stuff. I don't always follow the rules. Okay, so give me 2 seconds while I pull this out and show you, and look for my, oh, it's right next to me. So this lovely frame came with this picture that I had. So I'm gonna probably paint the outside of the frame with the Posh Metallics to kind of match. I like the gold, I just don't like the other one. Oh, Kathy, you're sweet. Okay, well this is an easy peasy one. This is not a hard one. I know, sometimes I get a little carried away, but this is gonna be easy. I don't even know if I'm gonna take the hour. I always say that, don't I? Okay, so first of all, when you're working with glass, this stuff is like super duper sticky with glass. So just know that there are 2 things you want to do when you're working with glass. First of all, you do not take them off of the backing and lay them together, ever. Because the back of this one will stick to the front of this one. Okay? So when you're working with this, you have to do them one at a time. Okay? You cannot put them on together. You have to do them one at a time. Okay, and so we're gonna go, I know it's sideways, but we're gonna go lengthwise because I wanna fit as much of this on here as I can. So what I'm gonna do is probably try to figure out where the middle is. And then once I find my middle, I'm going to start with this being, this line right here. See, it kind of goes over a little, but this line being kind of in the middle. So I guess the easiest thing for me to do is to first, because see this paper, and see, again, look at me. I'm telling you not to do things and I'm doing it. This paper has grids on it and I can see the edge of my frame here. Let me get you in frame. So I'm gonna say that this has three squares over the edge, all the way down. Then I can make it straight and I can figure out how much I need. So then if I were to put this in here, and again, I'm not taking the back off, I'm just measuring kind of where the middle is, would this equal 3 squares? Pretty close. I have like, let me turn you over so you can see, I have like 2.5 over here, right? So yeah, 2 3/4 maybe even. So I'm pretty close. So what I'll probably do, because I cannot, let me put this one on 3. This one on 3. Can you guys hear my grandkids screaming in the background? I can hear them getting into the car. Okay, so this one's on 3 and that one's on 3. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave that backing on and overlap, and I'm gonna move it over. I'm gonna move it over after I know that I'm in the right place here, until this one is up a little bit so that I'm even. So now that one has too much. Now that one doesn't have enough. Let's go the other way. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so like around 2 on that side would be 3 on that side, so it's going to be 2.5 and 2.5, right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be about 2.5 grids. I know you can't see my whole thing. Hi, Carmen. I miss you. I haven't seen you now in 3 weeks. I can't wait to see you again. Okay, so let's get 2.5 here. Okay, so now it's the tricky part. I'm gonna actually turn it. What is your grandmother name? Oh, Grandma. I'm Grandma, Rod is Papa. But I came up with all these names. You know how you do. I'm gonna be Glammy or Glamma or Gran, or, you know, all the cute little names. And then I revert straight back to what I called my mom with my kids. It's Grandma. It's just Grandma. I'm Grandma. I know. I wish I was like something really cute. Nana and Mima and all these cute things. I'm like, I'm going to be this. And then as soon as I was a grandma, I was just a grandma. Okay, so now the biggest part is going to be to lay it down where it needs to go. So the good thing is these grids are on the, what is your grandma name? Do you have grandkids, Kathy? I'm gonna lay this on, the grid is on the plastic part. So as soon as I take this off, I still have the grid. That's the good news. You can still use the grid. The bad news is this stuff sucks down like you would not believe. So you have to be super mindful of where you put it before you lay it down. So I know like right around where I want to be. And I don't know if you can see this now because I've kind of went up a little bit, and I can I want to get it even. Oh, see, now it's down, it's down. It is. It's just down. It's like you're done. Okay, can you see? You're done. Got it? Okay, and this will go in, this side would go into another flower pattern, I don't think it matters. I think for this one design, I think it's actually going to be okay, just half of it. But if you wanted to be really picky and you wanted to take your other set of flowers and go all the way to the edge, you could cut that square line and make them go up into, butt into this, so that it would be all the way to the edge. But I think it's going to be pretty just like it is. I think the only people that are picky about art like that is yourself. You know, like the people looking at it, they won't even tell. And oftentimes I'll take something and camouflage. If it's an obvious like cut off flower, you can still paint over it or add some foils or do something fun. And I'm putting it right on top of the glass. Hello. Okay, you being company. I don't know who you are, but hello to you. You'll have to tell me your name. Okay, so here is, and look, I use my fingernails all the time, you guys. I do a good edge down, but look at how easily this stuff pulls up on glass. Glass is one of my favorite mediums to use transfers on, and I do those windows and I put resin over them. They're just drop dead gorgeous, and they're hardly any work. If you haven't seen me do it, I have it on YouTube, but same concept. And then I resin over the top. So the hardest part is probably going to be these little teeny letters, because they like to come back up. This little ephemera, this little wording down here. The big pieces are coming off super easily. This is easy peasy art, right? Don't have to be an artist. They did all the work for us. And then I just keep laying it down if I see something pulling up. Okay. And I think I'm even going all the way to the edge like this. Is that like glass is like the easiest stuff to do. And look, I missed this little spot right here, so I'm just gonna go right back in. I don't even know where he came from, but I'll put him right there. There. Ta-da! Oh, I adore my sister's Gram. Oh, she wanted to be Grammy? Nope. They chose, what did they choose? Oh, they chose. Probably Grandma. This one's sticky. Usually maybe because I put the vinegar down right away. Usually it kind of slides around, but this one's kind of sticking, so I'm just going to be really careful, because you can lift the image back up. Usually it'll stick pretty well to glass, though. How gorgeous is that? Okay, that is clear now. I know you can't see because of the backing, but look at how gorgeous that is. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, and we're going to hopefully go all the way to the bottom, because hopefully I measured right. Yeah, they got to choose, Grandma. Yeah, I don't know. I love being a grandma, so I guess I don't mind whatever they want to call me. I just love being a grandma. Okay, so this is tricky again, you guys. So look at me. I'm going to even stand up with my squeaky chair, and I'm going to get right up here. And this is probably the hardest part, is matching it up exactly to the other side. And don't you know, you'll get one side and then you look at it and the other side isn't off, and then you get another side and the other side's off. And don't bubble this up when you're doing it. Don't stick this part down until you got this part done. Okay, so now that part's down, we're gonna go along the edge, especially carefully, and I give it some good push, you know. I mean, I'm not being dainty about this. I wanna make sure that it's stuck down. I don't wanna catch any edges. I don't wanna catch any air right now. I want it to just lay smooth and flat. And then especially down here where it's going off the edge right here. I want all these little flippy things to be laid down really well. Get every bit of this. But again, this is one of the easiest mediums to lay a transfer on. Hard in that you have no room for error, but easy in that once you put it down and try to rub it off, it comes right. It sticks really well. Okay, so I got all my little edges. And then I just, like I said, I used my fingernails. So this one just even wants to go right over the edge. That's fine. That's fine. Get your edges first. And then it should just peel right up. Peel right up. So I'm doing it kind of backwards so you can see. Usually I start at the top and pull down, but I'm hoping that by doing it this way, you can see as it starts to lift up, I just lay it back down and keep rubbing. And it's just that easy. Transfers are super fun. The only problem is they're one and done. That's the only downfall with a transfer. They're the most vibrant, beautiful images. They always turn out good. They always look good on things, but they are a one and done. Okay, this one, have a little piece here, have a little piece here. Just put it right back down. It's harder for me to see backwards, but I want you guys to see. And don't get too like cocky, like right now. It's like it's going super well. I just want to lift the whole thing up. Go slow because it can all of a sudden lift up on you and bubble. So don't get too cocky. Okay. Okay, now this little piece, you can keep these little scraps. And I do, when I make boo-boos, like when I don't get it all the way together, I can go in and just add a little fleur-de-fleur here and there. And I'll just show you just so you can see. Mine's fine, but I just want to give you an idea. So let's say that this one, it bothered me. It didn't come together well enough. You just go right over the top of it, right over the top. And it just kind of erases that line. You don't even have to worry about kind of like the whole pattern being affected because these are so busy and so beautiful. Just go right over the top. Okay, so that's how I fix them if there's a problem. Then I'm a little worried about rubbing these because they've been a little sticky. I usually try to pat them down. I rub it around usually, but it seems like it wants to pick up. Okay, it's pretty good. So looks like it's separated there a little bit, but no big whoop. So what I can do where it's separated a little, I just create a new leaf. I just put it back together with one of these. And you can use part of one or all of one. Like you just can like tear off a little piece of one. And you can't even tell, it's right there. I put it back together. I could actually keep going because there was another little piece. And you can even like scratch it off a little bit until you seal it. You can scratch it off. Now, if it's artwork like this, you do not need to seal it. If it's going on a wall, you do not need to worry about it. It will show. You can, my favorite way of sealing is put the resin and make it really glass and like bubble glass looking. It's really gorgeous. And it doesn't take much resin. I do a thin layer of my Amy Howard. I sell the clear resin. It's an overnight resin. You can just do a little bit and just smooth it over and it will seal it and protect it and it looks gorgeous. But for today, we're not gonna do that right now. And I do have YouTube videos on how to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna take this gorgeous piece and I'm going to Now I'm gonna put the paper underneath, and you can pick any paper you want. I have chosen this white script. I have several in stock, so I know I have enough of them. And I like the look of the script behind. So you can choose whichever, like whichever area. Like if I wanted this piece up here to show, I could put it like that. I kind of want my Napoleon to show a little more, so I think I'm gonna do it more like this. Right, so you can see the script and some of the pictures, the images behind, but it also matches the transfer. See, so the transfer has some of these little coin emblems, and so does the paper. So this I think, first of all, it's going to make those flowers pop, and second of all, I think it kind of matches the whole design. I'm probably going to use that one. You could also use the bottom part, which I'll probably save him for later. Look at this fabulous fly or bee, or I don't even know what. They're like French bees and French flies, so I don't know which one is what, but you could even have him showing it down in the corner, which would be pretty too. Either one, but I think I'm gonna, because I enjoy the coin. I don't know, now that I'm looking at it, I like them both. What do you guys think? Give me a heads up. Do you want the fly or do you want the coin? Fly or coin? I know, they're both so beautiful. So the Napoleon or the fly. So if I do the Napoleon, there's a lot of negative space up here where the writing is, and I thought that was kind of pretty for the flowers underneath. Trying to hold this and do this at the same time is not working out as well for me. So I was thinking the coin and the Napoleon, because I kind of like that matching coin thing, but I don't know, the fly's cool too. Do you want the script running horizontally? So this is going to be, it's a vertical, what do you call that? Now I can't think of the word. It goes this way. So when I put the frame on, wherever the top of the frame, it's gonna go like this. This is the way it is. What is that? It's not landscape, portrait. It's portrait. So it's gonna be in portrait mode. So this is gonna be the picture. Isn't that gorgeous? Just like it is. And then I'm gonna put some gold on the outside to match the inside of the frame. So, hey Stephanie. Okay, so at this point, I think I'm gonna go with this. Nobody's telling me any different, so that's fine. I'm going to lay this aside carefully now that that image is done. And then, knowing me, I may go back and resin it. I know. Okay, so all I have to do now is I want to save some of this beautiful paper because I like that bottom part. I will use it for something else, I know. So I want to make sure I have enough at the top, and I'm just going to cut about here. I've already gotten my daughter to paint the white background. So originally it looked like this. This was the picture from like Ross Dress for Less or something. I don't know. It was on sale and it has that white around it. And they actually had this image on the underside, and then they had the same image on the other side without the X's. So they obviously screwed up, just like I do. So I turned it over and we painted this. Oh no, you're good, Kathy. Yeah, no, so I was laying it sideways so that you guys could see the whole image, but it is gonna be vertical, yes. I know. Okay, so I think I'm gonna do about here. So I'm gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna trim up this edge just because I wanna use this for something else at some point. And I don't wanna get it too close, but I do wanna get, I better hold it because you know me. I will start cutting sideways and all over the place. I am no seamstress or straight cutter, but I do want to save this image up here because I like that little coin for something. And then I have the fly bee. That's what I'm going to call it, the fly bee, for something else. And then the Napoleon's kind of in the middle. And that's going to be like my header. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so then you just pull any top coat that you have handy. See what I have? I have Big Top and I have DIY. That's what I want. Let's see if I have very much in here. Oh my gosh. They're both DIY, but this one's liquid patina. See if I can use the last little bit of this stuff. And it is a little bit harder to decoupage on cardboard and stuff that is a little more porous. But you just use a little more product. Okay, let's see if I can get you in frame. And then again, if I run out, I'll start grabbing some of my other stuff I have sitting over here. Any top coat will do. Mod Podge will work. People can use Mod Podge. I don't like Mod Podge because I do furniture and I like a furniture grade product. So it's nothing, the product is fine. It's nothing bad with the product. I just myself prefer a top coat sealer for my stuff. And then with long pieces or stretched out pieces, as I get this stretched out and wet, the paper, and especially because it's white and it can show those stretches really easily, oftentimes I'll go in and dampen my flat surface paper so that the whole thing is stretched, the sides and everything, and it goes on nice and smooth. And honestly, it's going to be underneath those flowers. So this is your background. You can paint a background, you can stencil a background. We are papering a background. So it's already done. Okay, and where it's lifting at the corners, I'm just going to add a little more product. I know I'm going to lose this. That's going to go all over me. I can see it happening right now. Okay, so I'm going to try to get as much of this down as possible and smoothed out so that then when I flip it over, oh, Kathy, you're so sweet. I do love all the things. Don't we all love all the things? IOD, Roycycled, they do have a lot of fun stuff. Okay, so now we're going to go right up to that line. Sometimes I even pull it back farther than the line. And we're just gonna do little strips at a time because we don't want it to pucker. We don't want it to wrinkle. We want it to be as neat as possible. Although, like I said, it's kind of camouflage. So this is a really good project for beginners because you're hiding a lot of the paper. You're hiding your boo-boos, but you won't have any. You won't have any because you're doing it the right way. Little at a time, good amount of product, not too much, not too little. Don't leave any lines of product. This one still had some more product. Could have gone farther. There we go. I hold my paper up. This stuff has been sitting in my little back room for a long time, so it's got some creases, and I'm just gonna push those out as I go. If you find you're really having a hard time getting rid of creases, lay down some parchment paper and get your dry iron out, set it to cotton, and you can lay out your creases. actually watched, so Ignite Furnishings, Rhonda, she is a Roycycled influencer, whatever they call their people who creatives. She was showing how you can actually like iron your paper and burn it to leave some fun marks. Now I always did those on accident. I didn't know that that was a technique. So now she taught me how to do what I always did on accident and burn them and make them look kind of old and weathered and fun. And so now I get to do that on purpose. I get to play with that technique. So I'm happy to her for showing me that technique, and I'm gonna play with it. Okay, so this is kind of wrinkling up over here. See how it gets kind of puckered over here? And if I can't get it to lay down flat, that's when I pull out my mister bottle and I just mist the paper enough to make it so it's not wet on the cardboard only, so that it's wet all over, so that it no longer puckers in those areas. Now it's laying smooth. Okay. And again, I keep feeling like I'm putting more and more product on the same place over and over again. That's okay. It's because it's not sticking down. So we want to make sure that we have enough product, and we're just going to keep going over it until it sticks down. Sometimes it's just, you got to be persistent, I tell you. Never give up. Keep going. Keep going until you like it. And if you don't like it, walk away and then come back and look at it again the next day or later that night and find out. Sometimes you find out you're just having a bad day. Sometimes you're like, oh, that's not so bad. Or sometimes it just needs to dry. Or sometimes you need to get a better idea of what you want it to look like. But either way, walking away sometimes changes it. Okay. Now I'm going to lift and push out that line. I don't want to wrinkle it up. So I'm going to go nice and smooth, nice and slow. And this side does not want to lay down. Need some more product. Almost done. Almost. We're getting close. And I'm getting close to the end of my liquid patina over here, so perfect timing. Let me move over. Hopefully you guys can see. Nice, even coat. You want it wet, but not drippy. And then I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to kind of stretch this out a little bit and lay it down. Just puckering. Still puckering. Still puckering. And now when it's in this state, you got to be real careful with it. You do not want to lift and move it a whole lot. Once it's damp, it does get a little bit persnickety, and you don't want to rip it. So again, you can always come back and lift. And iron. Add more product. There we go. It's just a little touchy board back in here, almost. And it's as easy as that. Nice and smooth. And this white, I will tell you, white, it is see-through. You know, it is a harder background. But the fun things you can do with this paper, which I could have done, which I have so much going on the front, so I don't need to do with this piece, but you can do the colored edges underneath because the paper's so bright white. It would look really pretty with some inky blue or greens, or even the yellowish look, you know, if you wanted kind of that antique-y look underneath, like its edges are kind of stained. You could do so many different effects with this white paper. It's such a great neutral. it would be gorgeous with that. Okay, so basically this is done as far as for this project. If it were on its own and I was doing something on top of it, I would seal the whole top of it. I don't have to do that for this project because I have glass going over the top. So my project is this. That's it. That's as hard as it is. I'm gonna wanna wait for this to dry, the paper underneath, and I could dry it with a dryer and do all that stuff. But basically, all I'm gonna do is once it's dry, I'm gonna stick it in the frame. I'm gonna take off this edge, stick it in the frame, and this is gonna be my picture. This is it. And you can customize it with a stamp and put your name or whatever, you know. But basically, this is the look. And again, you can take your, I can't think of the name, like a stamp pad, you know, and you can kind of dust the outer edges and bring a little more drama. Or you could leave it crisp white like this. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah. So I'm gonna set it aside to dry. I didn't seal the top of it. I don't want to seal the top of it yet. And I'm going to put this in a different area. And then we're going to, maybe I should have gone the other direction. Hold on. I'm gonna go the other way. I have this down here flat on my chair. And this I'll set over here to dry. I don't care if that falls, right? Okay, so now I'm going to take my beautiful frame. Oh, so beautiful. We're gonna do an easy upgrade, and we're just gonna take some, let me put this in water. Where's my water? Okay. Okay, well, I can't even find a baby wipe right now. I have no idea. I bet my daughter stole them. She's probably stuffed somewhere. And I'm gonna take my Posh Chalk metallic paste. It comes in a variety of colors. You could do whatever color you want. So this one is called Deep Gold, and that's probably the one I'm gonna use. And this one's a brown. So this up close has some gold and brown. I don't know if you can tell. So I'm just gonna play with it. I'm just gonna see what I can get. These are water-based, so I can mix them all together. I'm gonna start with the Deep Gold, I think. They're sticky and gooey, and you can use them for raised stencil. Mine are older. I think I talked about these before. I was gonna use a raised stencil, but mine are kind of old. So I think I will have to add some to some water. Hold on, give me just 2 seconds. I can't find any water. I can't find anything. Okay. Let me see if I can find a container to put stuff in. Okay. One thing down. I like to use the palette knives with this because it's so gooey. And I'm making it into a paint, so I don't really care if it's, you know, super gooey or not. Because I'm just going to add water, and I'm going to use it as a paint. But I love how metallic these are, and they will automatically upgrade the white frame on the outside and make it match the inside. So let's try that to start. And I'm going to use, I don't know what, I guess I could use a stencil brush. I like my little Jamie Ray stencil brushes. And let's see if I can, this frame is super lightweight. Let's see if I can match this gold here. And I'm covering white, so probably should have painted it first. Sometimes when you have metallics, they show up better on a darker surface than a lighter surface. But I'll probably end up doing more than one coat is all. So I think this is a pretty good match. This is called Deep Gold. And as you can see, it's just kind of matching the outside of the frame, which will make it more dramatic. Now I can also do another bead on either side. I could do the new adornment stamp from IOD and give it another layer of dimension. That would be pretty. I might do that. But right now I just need to get some color on that really weird white that they put next to the gold. I thought it was actually a mistake. I thought, like, when I bought it, I thought that this part was gonna come off with the packaging. I didn't realize that the white was part of the frame. But you know, that's okay. We can upgrade anything, can't we? So I'm just dabbing it on because I want a little bit of that texture and I want it to go on thicker. Probably didn't even need this much water. I could probably even get some of this gooey stuff on my brush. No, it's better with the water. Let's see. Let's see if I can get some gooey stuff. Yeah, you can do it either way. It's still gonna need another coat probably. So that'll be gorgeous. That'll be gorgeous. Yeah. And I'm not going to worry about getting around the outside, but definitely when I get off, I will go around the whole outside. This is a perfect piece for that trimmings. Those trimmings molds, you can add more trim if you want to. This stuff. Now it's just sticking everywhere. Sticky stuff. Sticky stuff. Okay, we'll get that frame going. Isn't this easy, you guys? You guys can do this, right? I mean, this stuff, the thing I like about this medium I'm using right now, this Posh Chalk Metallic Paste, is it dries super fast. So I don't have to be sitting here for an hour to wait for the next step. It dries really fast. Although I say that and I did get some on my arm, I can feel it, but typically it'll dry a lot faster than, well, as you can see, because it's so gooey, it'll dry a lot faster than some of the products. And you can paint it on. I'll show you. You don't have to give the effect. You don't have to tap it. You can just paint it. So I'll paint this part so you can see the difference. It's starting to get really gooey now. I gotta tap it on the inside. Okay, there we go. There we go. I actually did the backs of my pendants I did the other day on the live with this stuff. See? Is that a good match or what? Pretty good, huh? Deep gold. Interest of time, I think I'm just gonna run this over it so I can get it in all the white spots. Another thing you could do is you could foil this. Then I would foil probably the whole thing. I wouldn't just do the one edge. I would do the inside edge too. So lots of options. You can make lots of noise by pouncing. Okay, so here is my, ooh, I wish I had a pan out, pan in. Here's my gold frame. Pretty cool. And like I said, if it wasn't exactly the right color, you can always go back in with another color and blend blend another color into this. Add some light gold and some brown, green, blue, whatever, purple. They have all different colors. Okay, so that is, for now, one coat of that. That's good for now. And I will let that dry for a second, but you can, this is already dry over here. That's why you probably should keep this closed up while I'm using it. Okay, let's see what we're doing here now. Let's get our board. I don't even know if I can, I didn't do it on the top, so I'm hoping I can scrape it back. Oh, I didn't get the corner. Come on, baby. I'm not gonna start with that corner, it's still wet. Let's start with another corner. Let's see if I can even get it off. I'm not using a very heavy sandpaper, and it's a flexible one, so I'm hoping that even though it's kind of damp still, I can smudgel it, get it off. I didn't bring over my stamp set because I could do the edges with some antiquing gel or something. But everything doesn't have to be antiqued, right? It can be a bright white. Okay, I need to put a little more product on this. Those edges, they always give me problems, don't they? Those little edges like to stick up. Okay, I'm gonna skip that edge. I'm gonna go around here. Remember, we're covering all this up, so it's not a big deal, but I don't want it to tear. It helps if you get the right side. The white looked worse and worse as you added the gold. Isn't it ugly? What the heck were they thinking? Does anybody want that white around the gold? What is that? What was that for? Is that a look? I've never seen that look. I don't know. Isn't it funny to look back on things that were in your house too? I remember when I first got married and I had a burgundy rug. I think it was burgundy. Yeah, burgundy rug with hunter green accents and brass, decoration. Brass, hunter green, and burgundy. And man, I was like, this will never go out of style. This is so beautiful. This is a classic look. And I'm sure it is still a classic look, like if you're going into a hunting lodge or something. I don't know. I'm not going to say it's never going to come back in style, but oh my gosh, would I ever do that in my house again? Heck no. And then came and I'm sure somebody here had it, then came the accent walls, right? The bright red accent wall or whatever color accent wall in your house. So you had to have one wall, a totally different color than the rest of your house. The accent wall. That was in style for a while. Always liked decorating, but some of the things. And then of course we all crackled everything, which I still do now, but it was not in style for a while. So, I guess it all comes back around. The mushroom canister set. Yep. It's so funny when I look at those Facebook posts and it's like, what did you have in the 70s? What did you own? What kind of stuff did you have? We all had the same stuff, the same funky stuff. Like there was no, I think I'm getting stuff on the bottom. There was no originality. We all had the same color stuff, the same things. The same ugly flowered furniture and brown rugs or whatever they were. I do kind of like that now everything is in. Like clothing wise and hairstyle. Because you know what? Everybody does not look good in the same style. I'm sorry. Not everybody can pull off some of these styles. And so now if you look good in high-waisted, they have high-waisted. And if you look good in low-waist, you have low-waist. Like it's like whatever goes. I like that. All home interior pictures. I know. I went to the lake this last weekend with my girlfriend, and when we were down there, we went to the Gleaners. I don't know if that's like only this area or everybody has a Gleaners. Maybe everybody has a Gleaners, but they have stuff at the Gleaners for sale to help, you know, homeless, and they do outreach. And so we buy stuff at the thrift store to redo, of course, right? And they had these, I don't know where I stuck them. I need to go find them. They had these, you know, patterns, sewing patterns. The labels with the old-fashioned people on the labels. And we were laughing at the styles and the style of the ladies and the styles of the men with the big mustaches, all posing for the little patterns and stuff that they were making. We were just having so much fun with those, and we were doing journals. So I'm like, I'm going to cut out the guys looking at the girls, you know, with the big mustaches and the girls with the big puffy hairdos and stuff. It was really fun to see and have them in my journal. I love that kind of stuff. The old stuff cracks me up. Okay, let's do this now. So this is pretty dry already. I haven't done a second coat on it, but let's just get the look down here. I don't want to ruin my beautiful background. And like I said, you could antique it, put stuff around the edge if I had it next to me. But let's get this in. So we got to make sure that, so there's our, let's make sure that our writing is going the right way. And do not break my glass, Tracy. And we're gonna stick it in on my stomach. I swear, it's almost summer, and the more closer it gets to summer, the more I'm eating. I'm panicky. I'm gonna have to be in a bathing suit. Uh-oh, I better eat. It's like a panic. Okay, I swear I lose the most weight right before Christmas when I don't care, and I wear all the baggy clothes. Okay, here we go. Here is the beautiful back to this picture, which I will put a, you know, this had that paper over the back, which I will put paper over and glue back down with a glue gun. And hopefully not get any of this on my, and then there is my finished. Let me put this up so I can hold it up and you can see. Oh, yes. You found cottage at 20, pink appliances. Oh. White tiled kitchen, perfect condition, beautiful hardwood floors ever. See, I would like that. The pinks, I think that would be cute. Okay, I can't see more. It won't let me. Okay, I'm gonna have to read that later, Kath. Oh no. Hardwood floors everywhere else. I loved it for a time. Yeah, I think that would be really pretty. Okay, so it's not put back together yet, and you have to envision that I'm gonna put another layer of, now it's coming out again. Another layer of gold on it, and I might even, like I said, I could antique it inside. But isn't that pretty? So you can see all the elements underneath and all the elements on top with the transfer, and the gold around the edge. That really just upgraded this, like just that alone. And there it is. It's done. How easy is that? So you take an old picture, you find at the Goodwill or at the Gleaners. I know, this is something anybody can do. Just remember the steps of do not lay 2 pieces of transfer down. Do them one at a time. Line it up, do it one at a time, and then make sure that when you're rubbing it, you know, don't go too crazy, because I can feel where I added that one on the top. And you can, like I said, you can resin this and make it look watery. It's really beautiful. I might do that. But other than that, easy peasy, done. Any art will do. And if you have an ugly frame that's just a plain oak frame, just take some of the molds and just create your own beading. That's it today. I did it in an hour because it was an easy one. I told you it'd be easy. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on the Rhapsody Art Barn page. I'm on the Roycycled Treasures page, usually Thursdays at 4 o'clock. Thank you, Royce, for having me on, and have a wonderful week, you guys. Enjoy. Bye.